I just opened this video. Can we take a breath together? Just a breath. No. Welcome to my website. Thank you for finding your way here. Out of all the places you could be right now, you are spending your precious little time exploring this online space of mine. This is my online home. This is where you can best connect with me. This is where you can get access to all my creations, all my offerings that come from a very, very deep place in my heart. And this video is just meant to give you a little taste of me, what I'm about, and what this work is about that you can find on this platform. So I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet, but we'll see how we go. First and foremost, I just want to do a little introduction of who I am. If I didn't already say, my name is Katerina Tzolas. My origin is Greek-Ukrainian. I grew up living in 4-5 different countries, so my origin is scattered all over the world. I spent most of my adulthood living in Estonia, so although my roots are from Greece and Ukraine, then I consider myself somewhat Estonian. And I am an artist. I'm a lover of life. I'm a mystic, a ceremonial weaver, ceremonialist, really devoted student of the plants, the earth, and the Great Mother. Most of all, I identify with the term medicine woman. I live and breathe for the medicine that lives within me. And I live and breathe to see that medicine unfold within others in my life around me and those I serve in my containers and sacred spaces. I am in service to the collective remembrance of the medicine that lives within each of us. I center my own life and my work around this sort of concept of, if you can imagine, like the core of the earth, and how the core of the earth is untouched by the layers and layers that have over time built around the core of the earth. And that same core exists within us. So you could call it like a central star or a sun or inner light, but it's the fragment of God's source that lies within each of us, and that is in essence completely pure and, is in its full potential. So it's an aspect within ourselves that we all have and that we can access through the dismantling and removing of the external layers that we have built around that pure essence throughout our life. Conditioning and programming, traumatic experiences that have built like this fog around what is in nature a knowing and a pure connection to source through the source within us. That's the core, the core of the core, what I work with. And in that, I hold a very strong pillar of sovereignty and truth in my own life and in my work. And I also want to just preface that anything that I share in my mentorships, in my ceremonial spaces, is never anything that I don't devotionally practice every day in my life. Like, my work is 24/7, 7 days of a week. It is my practice, and that is what I share from. So I'm not coming from, I did this training and I'm qualified with the certificate, so I'm gonna be a therapist. I don't have a qualification to be a therapist. my qualifications are my experiences and the initiations that I have gone through, the time that I have devoted to understanding life through myself, through which I can be a guide for others. So coming back to this pillar of truth, is something that you can hear me speak about a lot. I just recorded a podcast episode on it. You can find that below as well. There is a sense of truth that we all understand the same. We all name it differently, but it's something that cannot really be defined, but it's a feeling and a sensation within the body that we all recognize equally. It is something that, takes away words and that puts our mind in surrender to our heart. It's a force of love and like rightness and just essence that, feels like a breath. It feels like a knowing. It feels like a fragment of home. That place is something that we are collectively learning to tap back into. And that itself is a journey of remembering that we have access to that in the first place. Because when we have all these layers of like fog or, what's the word? Yeah, like our sense of self and connection to source is fragmented. So it's really a devotional practice of like repatterning our system and recreating and paving this pathway that is a place through which we can return again and again to this place within us that just knows, that knows what the right step is, that knows what the right thing to say is. And by right, I mean the most authentic, free-flowing thing that wants to unfold through your being. So we're really moving out of this paradigm of moving through the mind and being guided by what the mind thinks is correct, and like really, really coming into the body and saying, okay, body, maybe you do know best, and maybe you know far more than I ever thought that you know for me. And maybe if I dare to follow this voice inside, maybe if I dare to meet this sensation here and now, if I just dare to feel this feeling all the way through, I'm not gonna die. Even though it feels scary, maybe, just maybe, that's what's absolutely best for me and for my highest good. Woof. And we all feel this beckoning within our soul for some extent of life in a different form of what we experience now, because we're all here as souls on evolutionary journeys, meaning that we all are here to grow through certain initiations from one life chapter into another, into more expanded versions of ourselves. If you're watching this, like for sure you are on that path. So wait, I was saying that for a reason. Evolutionary journey initiations. Yeah, so we all feel this beckoning towards something more. And to achieve that, to experience that, to, what's the correct word here that I can use? To make that possible for yourself in this life, like there is going to need to be shedding of the not self to return to the true self, because becoming something other than isn't actually a thing. It's always about peeling the layers of what isn't you, so you can just become who you're already meant to be. So the highest version of yourself that you have, that you feel in yourself that you are and that you have come here to be, you already are that person. But you're just throughout life and throughout these initiations of meeting truth, you are growing and shedding into that version of yourself. So that brings us back to truth. and why this is important. Truth will, more often than not, and the further we go in this journey, the more it will reveal itself through layers of discomfort. Discomfort to meet certain parts of ourselves that we have not accessed or looked at or experienced before. Because in our conditioning and our upbringing, we have been taught that certain feelings are not okay and safe to feel. And it is beneath these suppressed parts of self where we have essentially become fragmented from our wholeness, that we on the journey lose access to our power. So when we're on this journey and we're walking with a sense of faith towards a greater version of self, a more true version of your essence, we're going to have to descend into the body and into those sensations of discomfort. Because, yeah, like I said before, that's where we really access this primal power, this power that is far beyond like our mind could ever be. Because when we descend into the body, we're accessing, ancestral, first of all, we're meeting layers of ancestral trauma and suppression, and we are reclaiming power from our lineage. So that's already tapping into like a much deeper source of being than just the self. We're moving beyond the individual self and into you can call it the collective body. But when we really are here to be a channel for, a greater vision, if we're artists, if we're here to bring through, beauty and healing and just like love into this world through our passions, it is our initiation to tap root into the collective body. So the earth body, the spirit of the collective, because it is through her that our visions are most clear and most supported. And you can go about this many ways, but I will probably phrase what I'm saying in many different ways in every single time that I share. But the essence is the same. We are purifying our being through dismantling, clearing, and removing beliefs, layers, conditioning, trauma, hurt. This can be even ancestral trauma, even parallel or past life trauma. They're all connected with each other, I believe. And just beliefs that we've collected along our journey. And through the body, through anchoring truth into the body. And this is a whole other topic I'm not going to go into here now. You can listen to that. I talked about it a bit on the podcast. Through this journey, we return to our true essence. And when we do this work, there is no way in hell or heaven that we will not arrive to the point where our essence is flowing forward from our being like a river. But it takes devotion, it takes dedication, and it takes commitment and courage and faith to stay with the process. So this brings me back to why I'm here and why you're here if you're still watching this, perhaps, because I'm really stepping forward now after many years of cultivating my medicine bag in service to help others make the shift and do this work and support others in their path of coming home to wholeness, to their vision, to their passion, to their fully embodied, nourished sense of safety in self and love for self and all of life. Connection to the mother, to the plants, to the sun, to the elements, to the mountains, to the inner song, to the soul song within you, to the innocence within you, to the joy within you, and to the wise, like, elder and feral goddess within you that is really here and knows that she's here to serve truth. That's every woman's highest, what's the word? Highest path to speak her truth and speak truth. Mm. Yeah. So I hope that gives you a good taste of what I'm about, what this is about. If you want to connect with me, then this is the place. Just fill out the little form. I'll answer you as soon as I can. And yeah, feel free to explore what's here. All the offerings that you'll see, they're very sacred to me, and I truly hope that if you're here, that you find at least something that serves your soul and reminds you of who you are and how fucking powerful you are. um, I love you. Thank you for being here. Lots of love to your moment.